I was born in a harem in 1940 in Fez, Morocco. So began scholar Fatima Mernissi's Dreams of Trespass, Tales of a Harem Girlhood. She is a feminist in the Muslim world. She's a researcher at the University of Muhammad in Morocco. She is the author of a number of books, including Islam and Democracy, Fear of the Modern World, The Veil and the Male Elite, a feminist interpretation of women's rights in Islam. Also, Beyond the Veil, The Forgotten Queen of Islam, and Doing Daily Battle. I am pleased to have you here. Dreams of a Trespass, Tales of a Harem Girlhood is not about a harem as we might at first blush think it is. It is much more about relationships within a community. Tell me about it.
Yes. I discovered when I wrote this book that the Westerners have a different harem from mine. Mine is about an extended family, and it was growing up in a house with 30 people, aunts, relatives, and so on. But the Westerners, for them, the harem is a sexual space.
The notion of a man and many women.
Voila. And there it was just family, mine, my father and my mother, and then my uncle and his wife and children.
Is this autobiographical for you? It's a series of sketches of relationships with your aunt and your grandmother and others.
It starts autobiographical, but the personages are fiction. Aunt Habiba is fiction, Shama is fiction, because I wanted to create the atmosphere. And of course, it's much easier to do it with few personages than having the 30 people. This is my first semi-fiction.
Yes.
And I'm not Tolstoy, so I couldn't deal with a lot of people, so I created.
Can you do things here? Can you say things about women that you couldn't in your more scholarly work?
Yes. I wanted to, in my scholarly work, I was always defending and asking and begging for the rights for us.
Yeah, the role of women in a Muslim world.
In Muslim world, in the other university books. But in this one, I wanted to talk about powerlessness. And that really women are about making strength out of powerlessness.
Yeah.
And that I couldn't do in the other books.
You're saying that the women are about making strength out of powerlessness.
Yes.
How do you mean?
Well, I think a lot about my childhood. I escaped to this harem, of course. And I was thinking, really, what did they give me, which gives me strength myself? And I discovered that it was about talking all the time about powerlessness, but the message was, don't accept to lead a humiliated life. Mm-hmm. And I think that is what strength is about. It's to desire strongly to have a graceful life. I think.
A lot of these stories, though, are about the daily chores of a woman's life.
But even those...
Inside the wall.
Yes. But even those were done with some kind of grace, and also there was a lot of imagination and storytelling inside these walls. And that also struck me, that you could do, out of prison, you could create theater. And that stayed
out of prison.
with me.
So are you characterizing their lot, their life, as prison?
Yes.
Because they cannot escape beyond the wall.
Yes.
Because they have no freedom.
Yes.
Is that the life of a woman in today's, in your judgment, as a scholar and as a woman of the Middle East, of Muslim women, a prison?
No. There is a lot of conservative people in my part of the world who would like to make my life a prison. But...
Make your life a prison?
Yes, who dream about having women behind walls, still.
Right.
But that is their fantasy. And the reality is that women have gotten out of these harems. And we are contributing There is 1/3 of women, of the doctors in the Arab world are women. 1/3 of lawyers are women. We are paying taxes. We are good citizens, and we want to have our rights.
What rights don't you have? Give us a picture.
What rights?
Of those who have, all of these professional achievements. What restrictions are there?
No, in the Arab world, in the professional world, there is no, in my university, they don't discriminate against me. Because the Arabs always liked women with brains.
Yes.
That doesn't disturb them. But women getting into politics, women taking part in the lawmaking, that is something which is really a complete change of the mentality.
You've written about Benazir Bhutto.
Yes. For example, they told when Benazir Bhutto took power, they said in all the press, Arab press, there is no women who ruled the Muslim world before. It took me 6 months, and with the help of some historians, to find out 16 women ruled the Muslim world as head of states. Madame Bhutto was number 17.
Who were some of them that we might recognize? Any?
I don't know. Even for me, it was discovery.
Yeah.
What is interesting to know is that a big number were Asian from Asia, and also many Turkish women, some Iranian women, very, very few Arab women.
How much progress has been made? You proudly call yourself a feminist.
Oh, yes.
How much progress has been made, say, in the last 10 years in your world?
You see, the Arabs have realized now, like, I am not from an oil country. Maybe we should make a big this division. In oil countries...
United Arab Emirates and Kuwait
Voilà.
and Saudi Arabia.
Because they are not making, they are not a normal economy. But we produce goods with our work. So there is a huge women's proletariat in North Africa, for example. And we are very important for the relationship with Europe because the agricultural industry and textile, it's 60% women. The country came in the last 10 years to realize that women are an asset. And one can say that the change, like in the King of Morocco, has changed towards women. There is now women in the parliament, and all these changes are in the last 10 years. There is nominations of women in high posts.
And the king is supportive of these changes?
Oh, yes. And at the same time, he is now strongly for tolerant Islam. So as a feminist, I am not a nobody. I am millions of people. You know, I am the future. But somehow we don't make the news like conservative men who are using violence, for example. They get more attention. But the Arab world and the Muslim world is not only those people, it's also us women who want to make for peaceful and competitive and competition. It's also women competing.
What do you think of the direction and attitude towards feminism in America in the 1990s?
For me, Madame Clinton, for example, Madame Hillary Clinton is this new American feminism